On today's episode, we sail from Holland to Spain. We cross the Bay of Biscay, where Torben almost caught a fish, and we end up at the end of the world, also known as Finisterre. We left the last log in Holland at Vlissingen, and we set off towards Dunkirk in France.
Og tyskerne blev ved med at skyde dem og bombe dem, og der døde 300 mænd den dag. Dagen efter den 30. maj.
In Dunkirk, we visited the Dynamo Museum and had a long talk to the kids about the operation and World War II in general, and especially Sebastian was very enthusiastic.
Et stormgevær, og der er knive. Der er det.
Prøv at se en patron.
Og jeg er dem med carrier, jeg er dem her.
And after the museum, we took a long walk to the beach, where it all happened, just to get a better understanding of all the history. And of course, some sandcastle building. We only stayed in Dunkirk for 2 days, and then we sailed on towards La Barbac to pick up Emma.
Skal den vej?
We heard a lot of scary stories about sailing in the English Channel before we went there, so we were a little bit nervous not knowing what to expect. But really, our sail was mostly sunshine and calm weather, so we really can't complain about that. Over there we have Dover, and on the opposite side we have Calais. During the night, the wind picked up and suddenly the sail attachment snapped. Everything gets really worn down, sailing like this the whole time, because we use the boat 24/7 in all kinds of conditions. So we had to make a quick pit stop in the lovely city of Fécamp to fix the sail. Even something that seems like a small job takes a lot of time. Torben spent 5 hours doing this repair. Keeping up with maintenance and repairs is a full-time job.
Bare forstå, jeg stak den i mine fingre før, det bløder som en helvede.
Not long after Fécamp, we started losing speed and felt some vibrations, indicating an issue with the propeller. It didn't look like the entangled seaweed would let go on its own, so Torben geared up and jumped in.
Så skal vi bare lige lægge stille en gang i vandet.
Dan 10, please.
Du har fat i baktur.
Hej med dig. Du er træt.
De 2 gange, der Kurt viftede af den, fordi jeg troede, du fodrer.
Jeg tror, han er lidt træt. Langt væk hjemmefra.
Der kommer den blå klippe dernede, udenom den til den blå på 250.
Den ø derovre, var det Guernsey? Alternate. This is what Sebastian wants to sleep tonight. Vi er stadig i Frankrig, ikke også? Vi sejler i nærheden af...
Ja, i Frankrig.
Vi sejler forbi Guernsey.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, madame. And these amazing little fellows put on quite the show for us.
På hygge.
We are approaching La Pavrette. I'm not sure how it's pronounced in France. So after about 30 hours we arrived. We are waiting for Emma to join us. She will come in 2 days, and then we make the next step before we cross the Bay of Biscay. So we had 3 days in the English Channel now, and we almost saw no boats, and the water was almost clear and almost flat the whole time, so not a lot of wind. We had to motor a lot, but it's been amazing. We saw so many dolphins. They were just jumping around the boo so many times, and those are amazing creatures. So now we're here and we're excited to see the city. Perfect. And with no luck catching anything ourselves, at least we would buy some from the fisherman. And we are leaving La Pavrette, going towards the Bay of Biscay. And 3 days later, Emma had joined us on the boat. We had provisioned, and we were ready for that dreaded Bay of Biscay.
Andet godt folk.
Der er en kajakbord lige fremme, som drejer. Nej, de når væk, før vi kommer.
Er der nogle af de der orange, du ikke kan komme ind i? Men det er meget højvand nu, så du skal ikke
men vi skal komme ind båden og pælen. Den blå slange skal være nede i cockpitbænken, bare i bagbords side. Der er en god vinkel på. Længere ud, så skal vi gå i 5 cykel, og så drejer vi godt den vej.
Jeg tænker, det er bedre at sætte storsejlet inden på vejen ned, ikke?
Jo.
Så vi får den anden fra på siden.
Jo, præcis. Så vi starter med at sætte storsejlet op, og det bliver vi op i om 2-3 minutter.
That is... Look at that wave! When you're sailing offshore at night and it's cloudy, it can get so pitch black that you can't even see your own hands. You really have to know where every rope is and everything else, and even simple tasks can be really challenging.
Det kan du sgu ikke gøre ret meget ved det. Så skal du have den. Jeg kommer hjælpe dig.
Nej! Ej, ja! But the troubles of the night quickly evaporates when the dolphins comes to greet you good morning.
Ikke for ned.
Ja, det er.
Skal jeg komme ned på badeplatformen?
Jeg skal over på den anden side.
Jamen, jeg skal lige have åbnet op.
Nej, bare tage den, hvor jeg vil helst tage den sådan derfra.
Okay.
Men jeg er i tvivl, om du kan tage den med den der. Jeg tror sgu, vi skal have kron på den.
We always put out a line behind the boat in the hope of catching a big fish. And this big feller was our first hook, but unfortunately we didn't land him because the hook broke off and the fish smiled and waved on its way along.
En mahi.
Nej!
Hopper den af?
Ja.
Den knak?
Den ligger i overfladen.
Ui, den er stor.
Grab?
Det var
Nej,
bare...
den røg af det.
And to say it mildly, Skipper was not happy. There's plenty of fish in the ocean, they say, but still none for us. But later that night, at 3 in the morning, we reached the lovely Spanish city of Gijón. Our first sign of Corona. Usually, this guest marina is full of boats. Besides a city walk and provisioning, we saved a bird entangled in a fishing line.
It got loose.
Oh, that's When you look for small marinas without a lot of tourists, sometimes you get a positive surprise and sometimes you get a negative one. The small fishing village of Luaca was definitely a positive one. We tied up on the outside of a fishing boat and went exploring the area. Everywhere in Spain, we saw how much their religion means to them. There are churches and monuments everywhere, and even in this small city, we found this big beautiful cemetery.
Dykkerflaske under overfladen. Når man fridykker, skal man have dykkermaske på.
Handler det om?
Det er en dykkerbog, som min bedste ven Albert har givet mig, som der handler om, hvordan man lærer at dykke. Det er sådan en, hvor man også kan se alle mulige fisk, og man lærer, hvordan det er, og alt muligt sejt.
A bagpipe band in Castropolo. Who would have guessed that was a thing in Spain? The nature view in Galicia is absolutely stunning. And there's crystal clear water and the beautiful white beaches. And surprises are everywhere, like these guys at a small fishing village. And we made it all the way to the end of the world in Finisterre. But more about that in the next episode. Thank you for watching. See you.